All right, there we go. We are live. Good morning. How's everybody doing? Joe, OE, Tesseract, how's it going? Appreciate y'all coming and hanging out. We've got a fantastic morning in front of us. I am in voice chat in my Discord. Tesseract, if you want to jump on in. And let's get this party on the road. All right. Let's see here. Joe, first coffee down. I'm just loading up NMS. Doing good, my friend. Doing good, Joe. Absolutely. And if you'd care to join us as well, Joe, you're fine. For the first base, I'm going to have to do the second one. The puzzle base, I'm going to have to drop out of group from everybody. But if you need a lift to the system, Joe, you're more than welcome to join in on me and then drop group. Okay, so Wolfheart, what's happening, dude? How you doing this morning? All right. So today we are checking out bases by Tesseract, one of the founders from Distant World Tours. And he'll be jumping into voice chat here soon, I'm sure. But while we're waiting on him, let's pull up the Distant World Tours website. Oh, hold on, Tesseract. I'm in the streaming voice chat. Let me jump over. All right, can you hear me, my friend?
Yeah, there you
All
are.
right, there we go. I was in a different voice chat channel. So no
Oh, I
worries.
don't. This is the only one I can see.
Gotcha. Let me tweak your permissions while we're at it then, because evidently I did not do that when you first joined. All right, hold up. All right, well, that should at least allow you to see the other one for future stuff. All right, we are good to go here. Let me make sure we're coming through on stream. If you'd say something, my friend.
Oh, sure. Can you hear me?
Yep, looks like you're coming through. Oh, fuck, still no Xbox update? Jesus Christ, that's not good.
Apparently not.
That is less than stellar. All right. So, let's see here. Where is the sphere? That's where we're going to start. Or do you have a preference, my friend, where you'd like to start?
No, it's your call.
Okay.
The one that's closest to the entry portal is the one that we have trouble getting visible. So,
Yeah, that'd probably be a good place to start, actually. Let's see here. It's on the contoured planet. Don't see it, so let me hit. Oh, there we go. Yep, alright. Just popped in. So, yeah,
yeah,
no
I
reason
logged in
why.
and yeah, I'm standing on it. So hopefully it'll show up for you this time.
Alright, yeah, fingers crossed. Pete SB, what's happening, my friend? How you doing this morning? Okay, we started to work on my creative save, and I have a question. How do you find Sentinel ships in this mode? I don't know if you can, Wolfheart. I know they changed the settings so distant worlds show up, but to be perfectly honest, I don't know if you can. I haven't tried doing Sentinel hunting in creative, so you might not be able to do it, which would be weird. I'm sure there's a way. I'm just not 100% there, Wolfheart. Sorry. Somebody in chat might be able to help. Pete, you might know, or Delta shows up, he'll know for sure. So if you got time, hang out for a minute here, Wolfheart. We'll see if somebody pops in that can answer that for you. All right, man. I was here 5 hours ago, and the render's still really bad.
Yeah, and it doesn't. We just can't figure out what's going on with this base. I've had nothing but problems with this one.
Yeah, this is.
And I built it elsewhere and moved. I uploaded the save version of it to this location for the tour,
Mhm.
and it works fine everywhere but right here.
Of course, of course. Shogun High, how's it going? What's happening? How you doing? Appreciate you stopping by. There you go, Wolfheart. Pete's got you covered. All right, you gotta make sure your combat settings are set to normal. That's the setting that matters. All right, I can see the landing pad rings, so we're making progress.
Yeah, it takes as long to render as it did to build.
There we go. Let's let me land. All right. So we'll pop out here and give it a second to render in. Go. All right. So you were telling me you build this every save that you
Yeah,
make a version of this anyway.
yeah, I started out building like a simple platform back in the day as a kind of a go-to home base. You know, you just has all your banks on it and a couple of refiners and the appearance changer kind of thing, and and it's also a place where I kind of play with ideas and I just keep attaching and morphing it. So every time I fire up a new save, or every once in a while, I just tear the thing down and rebuild it. And it's like the 17th evolution of it, I guess. So it's not what I would call a consistently coherent build, but I try to make it integrated so that it's not just like a bunch of random things sticking all over the place. The concept being it's like a like a gas station on a highway out in the middle of nowhere. Truck stop. That's the best way to put it. It's a truck stop. And anybody familiar with Elite Dangerous, you probably recognize the name Hutton Orbital. It's kind of a joke in that game. You play on the newer players. It's a terrible joke, but the name is funny. It's something we used to do to get players to fly a little bit over 2 hours to go to this really far station, on the promise of getting a brand new, very expensive ship. Of course, that wasn't true. I was victimized by that joke. I didn't fall for it, but yeah. I mean, it evolved. The game company that runs Elite Dangerous kind of rolled with it, and they actually, there's a coffee mug. It's the only place that I know of in that universe where you can get it is from that station. And a player group called the Hutton Truckers evolved around that whole experience. So I mean, it became like it became like a meme. So yeah, pretty much, yeah. Well, if you look up, if the neon, I've got basically some billboards because it's truck stop, so there's going to be billboards. If they're flashing in sequence, then the thing is probably fully loaded. Your stream is mine.
Tesseract has hijacked things. You guys are listening to him now. All right. You're listening to Tesseract talk to himself. All right. Yeah, those billboards are nice. I'm going to get a closer look here. Photo mode. All right. All right. Are they set up on byte beats?
Yeah. So each one is an independent panel, right? And
Okay, yeah.
there's a byte beat and the trigger signal thingy, whatever the heck.
Switch.
All these technical
Yeah.
terms.
Yep.
Switch. Yeah. Thank you. And then I can program the sequence. So all 6 of these do that exact same sequence. And over at the arena, I have a series of them as well, and they do a different sequence.
Nice.
But,
Okay.
yeah, I mean, you can do a lot with this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Makes it really simple. I mean, I've seen, I don't remember who I figured this out from, because I collect a lot of ideas from other bases that I've seen, and I had seen somebody using light panels with stickers.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd like to say it was Revivalizer, but it was before I met him, so I can't
Was it
exactly
Kev?
remember.
APG?
Maybe APG. It might have been on one of his videos.
Yeah, I think that's the first time I saw it, was using light panels with stickers.
And
APG.
like
I know that's where Rev got it.
And I was like, it's a gas station. It's gonna have billboards, and
Yo, Rev, what's happening? Speak of the devil. Here we go. Yes, this is
Hey,
Tesseract
Rev.
Spaceport here, Rev. So, Rev likes spaceports. So this is... Glad you made it in time for this one here, Rev. I like that Utopia station sized up there and merged in with that alloy roof.
yeah.
And
So
then,
this
oh,
they-
yeah,
they
that's a
gave
whole
us those-
stack there.
They
Nice.
gave us the parts, and I had to come and rebuild a section of the base to integrate the parts.
Yeah,
Because
I could tell. Yeah, and you got the new signs, or at least the spaceport sign, because I mean, you had to. They kind
yeah,
of forced your hand with that one.
well, all the new signs are in. I also have all of the new um, what are the blueprint purchase stations,
Mm-hmm.
and
The
I
Utopia
started
stations.
using. Yeah, you know, you enlarge them, you can use the holograms.
Yeah,
That's super cool.
it's
But
very
they
nice.
those are relatively new, and they came in after I had finished this build for the tour. So I came back and sort of retrofit the parts in.
Nice. Yeah. Zabs, what's happening, man? How you doing? Good morning to you, madam. Appreciate you stopping by. Okay, that's. I like the cabling that runs the crane in the back. That's nice. Mirrored storage panels. And then you've got 2 sets of supply pipes. And then that octa cabinet with the 4 arms on it. That's nice. Look, man, yeah. That's what do you got coming out the bottom? Oh, the pipe. Oh, that's a nice touch. Running the supply pipes through the octa cabinet and bringing them out the tip of it before they terminate. That's fun, dude. I like that. Nice touch. Oh, and we
Yeah,
got
this
the beams from the personal refiners coming through too. Nice.
yeah this the concept that I like for this kind of build is that everything should look like it has a purpose to the point where you don't even notice it. It
Yeah.
just becomes part of the environment around you. Like you know, you go to a truck stop and there's thousands of things that have been engineered and put around, but you really only ever focus on the thing that you're headed towards, and you don't
Mhm.
see the rest of it. That's kind of what I was aiming for here. Is you, when you're running around in the base, it should just feel like you're in the place, not really
Yeah.
like in a built, like not a built structure or
Yeah.
like a fantasy thing.
Yeah, and you got that too. You hit that right on the head because yeah, it does. It looks cohesive, and I'm seeing the super legacy pieces like the curved walls and the shutter doors.
Oh yeah, I did that just to get on Slax's nerves.
Nice, good call, good call.
Well, also you could there's some if you can access those, and unfortunately I think it's mostly PC only unless somebody drops them off for you on the platform.
On this save here, I've got access to them with the cash pin, and
Yeah,
I
but
think I
like
do on my original PD, but that's about it.
so one of the things I did was instead of having regular
I like the
garage doors
posters
everywhere.
smacked all around. They look,
Yeah.
yeah,
So I used
the shutter
like
doors.
the Gen 1 doors because they automatically open and they have a light
Yeah,
strip on them.
yeah, they
But
come with a
if
light
you
strip and the proxy switch, yeah, included.
exactly, yeah. But if you look at them, they're 1/10 too small for the standard space now. The walls
They
got
are,
bigger.
yep,
So what I do is I put down the metal archway, and then
and merge them into the arch.
I merge that in, and it leaves a tiny little gap near the corner at the bottom, which is you have to really look for it to see
You
it.
do, yeah, yeah. Well, and actually, if you use the alloy arch, you don't get that gap. But
Yeah, but
then
you know
you're mixing pieces. You've got everything else legacy, yeah. That little
it
gap
doesn't
is just so negligible.
it's that rusted patina look on the metal parts is
It's
just
so
the
much better.
best.
It really
When
is.
for
It's
this
such a
kind of
nice. Yeah, yeah. For a
yeah,
build like this, yeah, that's supposed to be like out in the atmosphere and exposed to the elements, if you will. Yeah,
yeah.
it's
That
tough
actually
to
that
beat.
right there,
Mm,
I don't know how far off you are on stream, but that
yeah.
tiny little glitch stack
Uh-huh.
when the little anemone in the jar, that was the
Mm,
very first glitch stack I ever did.
I
I
like
just
that.
keep
Yeah.
it I keep it around because I'm like, oh,
Nostalgia. Yeah.
that was like my very first one ever.
That's a good one. Yeah, we're definitely probably a solid minute behind, but I went back to it because yeah, That's a nice glitch stack, man. First one ever. That's, for your first one, that's a hell of a good one.
It might have been one of your videos, to be honest. I don't remember. I saw it on a video, but it was before I met y'all, so I don't.
Okay.
And my build skills at the time, where I was basically just starting to
That
learn to
arm.
snap things with a wire.
Uh-huh.
So, most of this was just decoration at the time, standard architecture and decoration. It is. I loaded up because I use a save editor, and I loaded up the very first version of the station yesterday to take a look at it, and it is it's surprising how much of it is still there from the original version, but it's to me it's shocking to see how far I've come. Right?
Absolutely,
it
yeah.
doesn't feel like it
That's
because I mean
the best
it
part
still
about
feels like
this,
I
yeah.
don't know. I laugh with Slacks all the time. He gives me a hard time because I keep saying I only know the one glitch trick, which is still technically true.
You just have come up with so many different ways to utilize it.
Yeah, I use it relentlessly.
Yeah, definitely. I like adding in the freighter walkways or exterior platforms. There we go. Yeah, here on the bottom.
Oh, you're downstairs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm way down on the bottom. And I like all the piping. Very, very industrial. Like it.
Yeah, this version I started playing around with. Are you familiar with the term greebling?
I'm not.
So back in the day when the model makers were making like the Star Wars models, the original ships,
Mhm.
they would take the little bits of plastic from all the parts. Like they would scavenge a bunch of different plastic model parts from like model kits, and then they would scavenge all these little plastic parts and decorate the exterior of the ship so that it looked like it was a thing at scale, because if it was too smooth it messes with your mind's ability to see it as a large object.
Mhm.
And that technique of causing little like surface details is called greebling.
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah,
So
I think you're right there, Adam. I think that's the tainted metal refining room. All those refiners. Just rows and rows of refiners. And I really like this weapons room, man. I like this a lot with the doors opening up to the racked weapons, and then you've got the weapon repair station with the rack laid down flat, and then the robot arms coming off the octa cabinets. Great look, man. Great look.
Thanks. Yeah, I figured it'd be like somewhere there'd be an arms dealer.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, if it's any sort of a seedy sort of space station, absolutely.
So I also tucked a lot of the industrial parts into the station, so there's a lot of like EM towers, atmosphere gatherers, oxygen, or the gas mining collectors, the storage depots. So if I put this in a location that has a resource, I can tap it and bring it right up to the station.
And bring it right there. That's nice.
Yeah, and I usually park this thing right on top of an EM. So directly underneath it, in the very center, there's an EM spike. I don't think I got one this time because I wanted to be near the portal.
Okay.
But yeah. So the whole station's fully integrated as like a single device, and I just sort of figure out where I want it and I drop it there.
Very nice. I really like the bite beat cables running between the bio lanterns coming out of the blocks, or I'm drawing a blank on what it is. It's a storage canister now, something.
Those are those big orange storage boxes.
The big orange storage boxes, yeah. You get from the freighters.
I mean, basically just had an empty space and I was trying to figure out how to fill it.
What do I put it there? Yeah, I like it.
Well,
and I like the nip bar.
Dalmovina had a bar sign with those, and I thought, oh, I'm totally stealing that because you can see exactly where that's going to go.
Yep, very, very cool.
Yeah, so tiny detail that's hard to see unless you look at it is underneath that plate of food. I took the little steam generator and I basically shrunk it down, and it's underneath
stuck
the plate.
It in there, so you got a little bit of steam coming from the plate. Yep, nice. fresh hot food. Damn, that's a nice touch, dude. I like that a lot. Sorry I missed it. I should have caught that.
No, no worries.
That's
It's
just
like
the type of thing that I like to see. It's a great
there's
little touch.
well, see, that's the whole point, right? Is
Mhm.
the fact that you don't spot those things is because they're so normal and expected. If it wasn't there,
Yeah.
you would notice. It would feel dead. It falls into that weird uncanny valley.
Yeah. The ceiling screens. That's cool.
See, I'll
Yeah.
give you an example. Like the hinges for the bar.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a little door on the bar, so I
Yeah.
stuck hinges in there.
And just
And
with the gas or the gas canisters. Yeah, gas canisters.
Exactly.
Yep.
But they almost go completely unnoticed because that's exactly what you would expect to see.
That's what's supposed to be there. Yeah.
Exactly. So the fact that you don't notice all the details means that it's working.
It means that you did it right. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, and that's a great use of that one specific decal on that sign. Because that does not look like it usually does. Because you've got it perfectly overlapped so you don't get the flicker.
Yeah,
That's a nice
somebody, I think
touch.
it was APG, or maybe this was after Rev. Both of them used the stickers a lot on the lighting, and I
Yeah.
like that effect. That
It's a
by
great
the way, that
effect,
whole
yeah.
area that's a landing pad you're sitting below. That's an elevated landing pad.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah, that whole food court is under a landing pad. So
Ah,
if we were in
yes,
an
yeah.
area where NPCs came through, they frequently land up there. That's
They'd be
their
frequently landing on it. Okay.
pad of
That's there.
choice.
And I do enjoy the barricades around the side laid flat instead of vertical, horizontal. That's a good touch. Very nice.
Yeah,
All right. So now should I hit the SRTs or head down the corridor?
So, well, if you go in through the top level of the wooden building, that's kind of like a lounge area. So this is separated into two parts. It's kind of like the gas station loading dock area, and then there's on the other side kind of a restaurant lounge type of thing going on.
Mm-hmm.
And what you're seeing is the original wooden building from version 1, and eventually it extended into having an attached landing pad, which eventually evolved into all of what you just saw.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah.
This version of this base has a new feature, which is that lower corridor, the second floor below. There's a corridor that runs from end to end of the entire base.
Yeah.
The previous version had you going up and down stairs a lot. So,
Okay. I like
when
this
I built
design
it-
better.
Yeah, when I built it this time, I just what got me to do it was I got sucked off my base by a tornado. So that I was just like, no, we're done with the tornadoes. I mean, they're cool, but they need to be outside.
Yeah.
So
Yes,
so
indeed.
I constructed the corridor and then wrapped the base around it, and that solved a bunch of problems and created a whole bunch of more.
Well, it
So-
usually does. Yeah. Usually that's how it works. Yeah.
But yeah, I deliberately included a couple of glitch stacks, artistic ones, just for you, Enra.
Well, I appreciate that, my friend. I appreciate it.
You've inspired me. One of them is in the central area of the dining or the lounge on the top floor, and then the next one is directly below it in the corridor.
Okay. I like those stone planters with the short walls around them. Gives it a very, hey, this is meant to be here sort of feel.
Well, you know what I was aiming for with that is transition. Like it's an architectural technique, right? You don't just abruptly change styles, you transition. So as soon as you go through the arch, you're transitioning away from the metal into the stone and wood. But I don't
Yeah.
want that to be a kind of a night and day effect. So it happens slowly. Like the handrails out here are the wooden handrails.
Mm-hmm.
They're just inverted. They're
Just
inverted, so they
flipped,
show the
yeah.
metal side.
So this is, yeah. And you've got
And
alloy floors transitioning into the wood walls and roofs.
yeah, so and again, it's like it feels natural when it happens. Like when you're walking through it, If you pay
Does.
attention in the real world, you'll see this happen all the time. You're being transitioned by architects constantly.
Well, and to be perfectly honest, that's not something I ever noticed until I started building in No Man's Sky. And then, and even at that point, it was from going to other people's bases and being like, oh, so that's how they moved from that material to this material. Oh, that's a nice look. And then you see it happen out in real life, and that gives you a better insight into the builder. Like, this builder knows their architecture, they know what they're doing, they know how to build things and assemble stuff together. They're not just some yahoo like yours truly who's just slapping pieces together and, hey, that looks fun, but they're doing stuff with purpose. And so that's always fun to see. I like that. And
Yeah,
I like,
there's a couple of bases on the tour that were included specifically because they're not massive like detailed glitch pieces, but they're really well thought out architectural maps, and somebody put some thought into the space, and it stands out for that reason. So
yeah.
like they're what I would consider like beginner glitch builders, or one of them doesn't even have a lot of glitches. It's mostly just resize. But the way it makes you feel when you're there is worth note. So that's why we were highlighting.
That's why you include them. Yep.
Yeah. Because I mean, we had the conversation long before the tour started. We don't want this to feel like the club of elites. It's not that.
And it doesn't.
It's meant to be like, you know, if you build, and you know, you're welcome to join. It's not.
Come show off what you do. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And what I like is there was one guy did a replica of the house from Oblivion, the one that's on a stilt, and it's very little glitching, very little, mostly in interior decorations. But the architecture is something you could achieve with just standard parts and a clear vision. And I absolutely love that build.
Yeah, I really like builds like that. That are vanilla, but somebody put a whole lot of thought into them, and it just shows you what's possible in No Man's Sky, that you don't got to know every glitch technique and all the fun bells and whistles. Just approaching it with thought and knowing what you want to build going into it makes a lot of difference. Really does. Bad Hat Gaming, what's happening, dude? Appreciate you stopping by, man. Yeah, and yeah, Shogun, your UD base absolutely reflected that 100%. 100%. Yeah, and this glitch stack in the center of the room here, man, very nicely done. Very nicely done with the light fissure and the sail palm or globe tree, and then you've got a bunch of globe trees down in the base along with the aquatic crystal too.
Yeah, I thought it made it look like something like it was bursting out. I thought that was kind of cool.
That's very cool. Yeah, nice touch. And then you got a candelabra bloom? No, you've got the mineral formation.
I have to be careful because you can oversaturate this room with light.
Easy.
Yeah, because it's there's a tipping point. I played around with it, and it's just enough at dark, and during the day it's not too bright.
Hinges again.
But yeah.
Yeah, there you go, Joe. That's a solid looking cash register there, my friend.
Okay, I'm gonna point something out just because I spent a stupid amount of time on it, and it's super tiny, so you will never spot it.
Okay.
But if you look just next to the cash register, there's a needle with a bunch of receipts on
it. Seriously, I was just about to say that. I was looking at them. Why are those spaced like that? Why did he? Oh, it's the needle with the receipts. Yeah, that's nice, dude.
Yeah, nobody ever spots it, and it took an obscene amount of time to get that just right, and it was like, but it's simple things.
It makes you happy. You see it every time you come, and it makes you smile. And I do that at a lot of my bases. I'm just like, nobody's ever going to see this, but I really friggin' like it, so let's do it.
You know how many times I've almost deleted that for the part count? Because I am at 3,000 with this base, and I have negotiated that boundary many times.
Many times, yeah. Yep. No, absolutely. We're not meant to know what we're doing, Joe. No. I mean, you can, but I never do. So that's a nice cabinet, arcade cabinet with the bite beat on the back. Very fun.
Yeah, I just started getting into cabinet like arcades.
Mm-hmm.
There's the tower has a couple as well.
Okay.
At some point, I want to do like a pub crawl or arcade crawl tour. Or
That'd be great. Yeah.
Yeah, so look forward to that, gang. So I grew up in the '80s, so I'm very familiar with the life in the arcade and the mall kind of thing.
All right, this is a nice stack here, man. Yeah, with the planetary globes, and then you've got gamma roots glitched in there. Looks like, and then you got the globe trees, and again using those mineral formations, bubble clusters. Yeah, you got bubble clusters in there. Oh, and the hanging lights. That's a nice stack, dude. That's very well put together.
Well, that one's for you.
Well, I appreciate it. I appreciate it, man. That's that's very cool looking.
Yeah, because that's just a gap in the wall because the bottom half of the building is cantilevered. It angles out, and you see like I used that same cantilever in the weapons room. I put garage doors in front of it and I stuck the weapons rack on it, but it leaves these weird empty spaces. So the first version of the earlier version had just a planter there. But then you started doing your videos on the glitch stacking and like that. I was like, oh, I can do something artistic.
There you go. Yeah, it came out looking great. Yeah, that's awesome.
Well, Merry Christmas.
Well, I appreciate it. Yeah, thanks for including it.
Now because where you are in the video, you're just hitting the storage units.
Yeah.
One thing I wanted to mention is, like, a lot of people shrink them down, some people don't. I like the space of them, which is why I left them the way they are. The whole purpose of this entire area is kind of the open and enclosed space together. Like, it's an enclosed corridor, but it feels large and open because it's half glass and you have this kind
glass,
of yeah. And there's I don't know if you're familiar with the term liminal space, but it's
I'm not.
The best way to describe it is it's like in transition. So if you imagine a school classroom in the middle of summer,
Okay.
right? There's kind of this nostalgia feeling and an emptiness, and you recognize it, but it's not entirely right because of its stillness. That's what I'm aiming for with this whole area, is the lines of sight, the openness, the enclosed spaces. I'm playing around with that kind of feeling, right?
Nice. Yeah, absolutely. I really, really like the bubble vats running behind the planners. That's a nice touch. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the same track that runs underneath the station all the way to the other side.
And they all link together. That's great.
Yeah, getting them to connect and flow in the same direction is relatively simple, but if you know a way to get, when you bend them, to not have them flow the opposite direction, please tell me, because I have fought with that little mini boss forever and I finally just gave up.
Usually what I'll do is I will when I get to that bend, I'll UAG and switch out to a light panel, and then I'll spin that light panel to different directions until I get the flow that I want.
So you have to brute force it with a hack kind of thing.
With the UAG, yeah. Yep. Use UAG.
Oh, before I forget, right?
Yeah.
The back side of the banks. I set a roof on its side, and I cover the backside of the banks, and that helps fill out the central corridor with a nice shape from the outside. But also I found out, and I've also recently found out that not a lot of people know this, if you put a solar panel and a battery on anywhere touching one of those storage units, they all connect. You don't need to wire them. So what I was doing was I was using the back side of the bank, the storage boxes, and I would actually just snap a bunch of solar panels and batteries on there, so that would provide base power if there was
Without
no
you
EM
having to
source
use the
available.
wire and
Yeah.
save the piece count.
But something happened recently, and I don't know if this is a change to the behavior or if I just finally figured it out that it does this. You can snap 4 objects, power objects, inside the container. Like when you put the container down, pick up a solar panel in green state and aim it inside the storage container, and you'll see 4 snap points.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And I had no idea they did that. If that's like news to me alone, then
well,
yay.
it's it's basically I'm thinking that the storage containers are based off of old cuboid room designs, because it used to be you could do that with cuboid rooms as well.
Mm-hmm.
You could
That makes
snap
sense.
4 things into them, and then at one point you could also delete the cuboid room. The 4 things would stay. You'd snap the cuboid room back and the snap points would reappear, and so you could stack things on top of each other. I
Well,
used
I
to
know they
make
stay.
batteries like that.
Okay, so this is news to me alone.
No, probably not to you alone either. I'm just one of those weirdos that used to. I never check for EM sources, and so I'm always having to use batteries and solar panels in my builds, and so I've come up with a bunch of different ways to kind of streamline the process.
Yeah, this base build evolved to a point that
Yeah, those screens are cool, Walker. Yeah, very cool.
I wanted to I wanted to not have to constantly add and subtract things. So basically, the base is kind of a device that I use, and when I create a new save, I'll import it to a base computer. That's one of the reasons it floats, by the way. I don't have to deal with ground topography
Ground
in
effects,
any way.
yeah.
Yeah. Plus, I keep arguing this with people. We have spaceships that can cross galaxies. I'm pretty sure floating buildings would be a thing.
Yeah.
So just saying,
Quite
just
true,
put that
yeah.
out there. You
Got a
you
valid
do
point
you,
there.
boo.
Yeah.
I'm all about the floaty cloud cities.
Yeah.
So I have to point this out because you're in the garden right now.
Mhm.
I stole the stacked planter from when I first met JSlax. He was constantly like, I watched him build something in this system, and it was like 1,000 planters.
Yeah.
And I went over there, and there's like 5. Like, what the hell? What the actual hell is going on right here? Because I saw you drop like 1,000. Where'd they go?
Yeah.
So those are all from. That was just basically a socially transmitted disease of stacking right there.
Oh yeah. So now, do you have a smaller one merged in there at 45 degrees with the
I don't know where
planners? With the I'm at the planners still.
So okay, so the way that works, you see, like they're kind of offset height-wise.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what I've done is the containers are like Andrew said, they're the size of the cuboid room, which is not the size of 4 square walls.
Mm-hmm.
It's slightly smaller and slightly shorter. So I put in one of the wooden roofs on top of it, and then I put down one of the metal floors, not the legacy ones, but the ones that look like black tile.
Mm-hmm.
And that gives me 2 height offsets. So the first planner is at the lower height, and the next planner is at the upper height. You're seeing them divided by like the height
The
of a
width
single
of
floor
a
panel.
floor panel. Okay. Nice. Yeah.
So I mean, it gave me an interesting effect. It was an accident because I meant them to just merge flat, but I liked the offset, especially the way the light kind of comes through.
The
and
light,
like,
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah, the light coming off of them. Yeah, it's a good look. I like it.
So I mean, you know how it is with building. It's like nearly everything you end up with is accidental, and then you just kind of like, yeah, I meant to do that. Nobody saw that.
No,
It was
what?
always meant to be.
Yeah, planned it from the start.
Yeah, so I totally have the receipts.
From the jump. This was me. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, and somebody mentioned the panels around the outside edge.
Mm-hmm.
those are to block the sightline to give you that same feeling of enclosed and not enclosed at the same time. That was just me messing with your head.
There you go. Yep. Joe, yeah, I'm a terrible influence. Yeah, I wonder who I learned not to look for electric spots from. Yep. It's called R&D. Absolutely is. Yeah. Yeah. Everything works underground, shrunken or not, the solar panels. So.
Oh, you have no idea how many times I've argued that with people. It's like, no, you don't have to have them out in the sun.
No.
No, they don't draw more power when they're in the sun. No, I bury mine.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Actually, on my build for Distant World Tours, I came up with a really fun way to incorporate my solar panels and batteries. You guys will have to wait till Wednesday, but I'm real happy with what I came up with. So.
So I was going to point something out, but I noticed
Yeah.
you just flew away because I'm looking at your stream and I'm looking at.
No worries. I could come land back down.
Just because I spend a lot of time hand doing this, and
Absolutely.
it's one of those things you can't see it unless you're looking at it at night.
Oh, gotcha.
I really dig the new signs they gave us. I can't even begin to tell you that
Oh,
hits
they're
me
so
in the
cool.
feels. 'Cause
Yeah.
I grew up in Southern California, and we used to do drives on old Route 66 heading out through the desert. So
Mhm.
those neon signs are like my jam, right? And anybody familiar with Southern California, if you've ever driven from San Diego to like Mammoth Mountain, you're going up the interior through the desert and you're seeing all these old gas stations with these old neon signs.
Mhm.
But they always have like, you know, the stuff you see in the 50s and the 60s, the blinky lights and the trace neon. And the one thing that's missing from our new cool sign is blinky lights.
Mhm.
Oh, that's that little side area is like nuclear waste storage. I don't know, whatever. So if you look, switch, just put it at night. It's probably, I don't know if it'll still work. Around the outside edge, I sunk in all of those firefly
Biolanterns.
Biolanterns.
Yes. Yeah.
There's a couple of dozen around the outside edge of that.
That gives you the little twinkle.
Yeah. One thing that I do with all my bases is play with lighting.
Mhm.
Like they just as much as I kind of mess with the space, I mess with the light. So it's always like you see this base at night is a completely different story.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it looks. Yeah, this looks nice at night.
If you ever encounter one of these, the numbers on the sign will tell you things. Like this one is telling me that I'm in stage 5. This is base number 1, and there's a portal nearby. It's up on the billboard, and it's on that metal wall down below.
Oh, nice. Okay, yeah.
So,
yeah.
Because you know how we hop back and forth between saves all the time, and this base is on all of them, and I get confused as to where I am. So
which save am I on again?
So the minute I land on there, I know exactly what galaxy I'm in, where this base is, and whether there's a portal nearby.
Yeah, I believe it's Texas there, Joe. I think so. Yeah. Yeah, Walker, definitely like the biolanterns. I'm a big fan myself. Yeah, those are phenomenal. I love the pulse they give. It's real nice.
Yeah, I mean I love that sign. That sign they built. There was a drive-in in San Diego. It was the last drive-in in California, in Southern California, and it had this kind of tilted sign with a big neon character on it twirling a baton, like a band leader twirling a baton. And that just, for some reason, this reminds me of that. It also kind of reminds me of that game Outer Worlds, which
okay, I'm not familiar.
Well, it's a I don't know if it's PC and PlayStation and whatnot, but it's basically just a space game, on like a frontier space game kind of thing, with all kind of weird buildings. But I realized that I've kind of effectively built an Outer Worlds town.
Nice.
So
gotcha. Yep.
But yes, thank you for going back to see the twinkly lights.
Oh, no worries. Not a problem. That was a great touch. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So we're gonna head over to the planetary sphere here next.
So I'll warn you, the sphere is basically most of my builds are me teaching me something that I found on YouTube.
Okay.
So thank you
gotcha.
guys for doing the videos, because whatever with the math. But I figured out the glitch wiring thing, and then I started to figure out like um, stacking. Then the next thing I wanted to do was learn a circle, like do the circle, because there's kind of a progression. So the tower base is actually the one I taught myself doing the circle with, and instead of starting small, I started with the 96-sided circle. That's why that tower is so big.
Yeah.
The sphere base is me learning how to do a sphere, and then I figured, well, I've got this 8-story bubble. What do I do with it? Because building inside a round room is really hard.
It is, yeah.
So I just went to town, and the arena is taking the sphere and breaking it into 4 corners and extending it out. That was just kind of a progression of, okay, now I have a sphere. What do you do with it? Well, let's do this.
Yeah.
So I'm working my way through the platonic solids ever so slowly.
And there's a frigate coming out of the water. That's fantastic. Out of the crust of the planet, nonetheless. All right.
Yeah, raise your hand if you've been knocked sideways by a freighter going through your base while you're trying to place a part.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was visited one of Joe J's bases of for the Distant World Tours earlier this week, and we both got hit by... I barely dodged it, and he got rammed by a frigate coming out of the planet, and it took him out into space as he was trying to land in at the base. So, yeah, those things are getting crazy.
I feel your pain, my friend, but I have to say that is objectively hilarious.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Joe's, if he hasn't sent me the footage, he needs to. I don't remember if he has or not, but definitely gonna make a blooper reel. Okay, now here you've got the storage unit shrunk down and stuck in a little side utility room. Nice, all stacked up there on the shelves.
I got to redo that section though, because they're hard to target. I noticed that the other day, and they also create a really bright light source.
They do. It's surprising how much light they put off when you get them together.
Yeah.
So a lot of the light sources in this game are very multiplicative.
Yeah.
Like they really feed off themselves.
I was hanging out with somebody day before yesterday, and he was struggling. He's struggling with lighting, and I was showing him how you can it's additive.
Mm-hmm.
You have to stop thinking about the lights as lights and think about them as a part with a property, and then you figure out combinations of them to get the lighting that you want. Those things, man, all of the light in that room are coming from those storage boxes. it's like
yeah, so much.
In a searchlight.
Yeah, I like the Gek holograms. Good use of them. Yeah.
So this is a little bit of Kel's influence.
Mm-hmm.
Because remember Kel's base, his the way he was like using parts and using spaces and just creating like really interesting workstations and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I ran across that base of his, the one that's in that canyon on the Light Fisher planet. It's on the tour.
Yep.
I ran across that in the wild.
Oh, nice.
Like a year ago.
Okay.
I think it was a year. I was just there trying to get a Light Fisher, and I saw there was a base marker, so I went to look at it, and it blew my mind.
Oh yeah, that base is nuts. That's such a cool base.
So I was going back there frequently to borrow borrow ideas. Yes.
Borrow, yes indeed. That's the term.
So the terminus ring is inside the console, inside that galactic mappy thing, whatever the hell it's called.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The upper right switch turns on and off the interior lighting. The lower switch turns on and off the doors in the bottom of the sphere. Like it opens and closes that just opens and closes the iris.
Okay.
Not really that big of a deal, to be honest. I just, something to play with.
Absolutely, something to play around with. That's really what matters.
There's teleporters that can get you up to the next levels because you're fully encased here.
I am, yeah, I can see, yep.
Yeah, I did a series of spheres with octagonal offsets.
Yeah.
And to give you basically the flight deck, but it's fully encased, so you can go from the landing pad directly into the flight deck, but you have to use the teleporter to get upstairs.
Gotcha. Okay. Or down into the water? Oh, okay.
Yes, there is one. One of the stations will take you down because it's an elevated base. So
Yeah.
typically, what I'll do is like the gas station had 2 teleports,
Hmm.
and typically I park that somewhere near a portal, and I'll run a teleporter down so I can just pop down to the portal, and then the other one I'll put somewhere else if there's a point of interest, or just on the ground down below. So if you need to get up, and you can, because it's usually too high to jetpack.
Okay, gotcha.
So that's kind of the thing. So this one has 2 teleports as well. One goes up into the upper floors, and the other one I put at a point of interest. There's a bunch of living pearl and water material things down there that you can collect.
Gotcha. Crystal sulfide, yeah. Right on.
Oh, you're trapped.
Yeah. I got out. We're good. We're good. Sebastian, what's
Okay.
going on? How you doing? Bad Hat. Ironic, I was getting clobbered by planetary frigates left and right when I was building my own planetary frigate. They were coming in at you. Yeah. Oh, that's ridiculous. They've already put out a second patch for Steam and PC, and Xbox has nothing. Oof. Still not
So
out. Yep.
there's a couple things like those teleports. I know they're hard to get to. There's ladders going up the side too, so you don't have to necessarily jetpack around in there.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Because this is where this build, well, not this particular build, but this model was me learning that, oh, you can put those ladders in places. I'm
Yeah.
gonna do that then. So
Oh, yeah, those
remember.
ladders can be quite helpful. Yeah, getting up
I
into
think that
places.
that one might have come from APG or Rev as well. Ladder placement.
Mm-hmm.
Are you frozen?
Nope, I shouldn't be. Looks like I'm all right. Yeah, we're
No, you're there.
Yep. And okay, so you got 3 levels up top here. Nice. And the very
Oh, yeah,
top's a little. There's a
All
stack.
the plants and some storage, and then the next deck up is all of the scientists, whatnot. Just basically, I needed a floor to
Mm.
put another staircase on, so that floor is just sort of there. And then the top floor is kind of like a restaurant lounge, and at the very top, I left the top of the
Minotaur.
sphere open, and you can have your Titanfall moment with launch out of the top of the sphere and drop down to the planet.
And we're gonna do that. But first, we're gonna make sure I didn't miss anything in the build itself. We'll finish the tour with the launch there, because I mean,
It's
gotta
you
love
see
the
one
Mac.
sphere, you kind of see them all. It's basically how do you manage an interior space with round walls that are constantly curving in or out?
Yeah.
And
I think you
one
did a
thing
good job with it.
I'll also point this out because you haven't noticed it yet, but I've heard you mention it many, many times in the past.
Mm-hmm.
The handrails on the stairs that keep you from falling.
Yep. The lights, yeah.
Yeah, because I've run into that same exact problem so many times. Is this you just fall right off the stairs and
You do,
go
yeah.
wherever. So
And I noticed you've got them inverted. You've got the stairs inverted too.
well, that's oh yeah. I like them. I like them upside down better. They actually work better. It's
Okay.
weird.
Well, hey, you're not wrong there. So they do. When they're upside down like that, they've got I don't know if the game just recognizes them better, but I find you get less hiccups as you're walking over them.
Well, there's a weird collision at the top.
Mhm.
Sometimes you have to like jetpack up over the lip, but if you flip the stairs over, that doesn't seem to
It
happen.
doesn't seem to happen. Yeah, it's really weird. Once again, No Man's Sky. Nothing makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But yeah,
Yeah.
using the stoplights as handrails does a couple things. One, they basically look kind of like handrails,
They do.
but
Yeah.
it provides a light source, which is useful.
It's also very
especially in
handy.
dark
It's the
tutorials,
last.
yeah.
Yep. Very nice.
I don't know, but like I
Yeah.
said, you see one sphere, you've seen them all.
That's true. All right. Let's see here. A little Titanfall from the top, I think. Go.
That's
Oh.
especially fun when I stick it at the top of a really tall mountain or on a volcano or something. Because I'll typically plant this base directly over a volcano.
Oh, nice. And you could just Titanfall down into the volcano.
Yeah, but also when you're inside the base, you're protected from the heat, so you just get the lighting effect and the kind of environmental effect, but not any of the damage.
But not any of the damage. Nice.
Yeah,
Yep.
and then opening and closing the iris sort of makes sense. Sort of.
Delta One, what's happening, man? How you doing? Yep. How are you doing today, Delta? Appreciate you stopping by, my friend. Yeah, now that is true. With the new Drusifer techniques, you can come up with some pretty crazy sphere designs.
Yeah, this
And
is
so,
pretty basic.
yeah.
I mean, like,
Yeah.
I'm starting to figure some stuff out. I would say I am nowhere near where everybody else is already. This was just kind of me figuring out the circle. The only thing that I think, well, not really the only thing, but the one thing that I think I'm the proudest of on this base is the landing deck. I played around with that a lot, and it started to occur to me that if it's a sphere, which makes sense from a structural design standpoint, then there's only a couple of ways that you could manage a landing area and still be able to enclose the outside of the sphere. And it would be either the sphere peels apart
Mhm.
or it opens up and something extends. And in that case, it would be like origami. Stuff
Yeah.
would unfold. It would extend and unfold as it goes out. So that's kind of what that is.
And that's the look you got with it, dude. That's spot on there. Yeah. When I came here last night to preload the base, that was pretty much the only thing I noticed when I landed, just to reload the base and then bounce out so I didn't spoil the fun for myself. But I really liked, yeah, you did curved each one like an extra short wall as you curved them.
Yeah, exactly. So they're just they're offset, and what that's telling you is that it's because we don't have animation, right? But it's kind of like stop frame animation.
Yeah.
So there's just enough information to let you know that this unfolded as it extended.
As it extended for you to land on. Yeah.
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 I mean, none of this stuff is like groundbreaking. It's just
Adam Mac, I don't know if I said hi to you, man, but I appreciate you hanging out and dropping links and everything. How's it going today? Guthrum, what's going on? How are you doing, my friend? Let's catch up on chat here. Yes. Drusifer is a witch, Adam. Absolutely, yeah. All right, here we go.
Is it Lizabeth? I saw your house on Chris's Discord. That was really awesome. Really nice build.
Yeah, yeah. I usually don't bother with it. I just call her Zabs.
Zabs, okay. Yeah, that was tight. I really like that.
Yeah. Voodoo Roll, good morning. Hopefully you're having a good day of work, my friend. Appreciate you stopping in. All right, well, I've been putting it off, but I guess it's time. Let's go look stupid at the Synthwave Spire.
I'm really hoping it doesn't make you stupid. It just makes you feel like
No, it's gonna be fun. Either way.
It's not meant to. It is a form of torture.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that. It is a very, very large torture device. And I will warn you people that you will not make it through the first time at all.
You gotta have the experience to be like, oh wait, no, you're not supposed to do that. All right, let's try it again.
Well, I've made a lot of I've made really good use of one of the mods that PC users can use, which extends teleport range to 2000 U. So be prepared to use your jetpack.
Yeah. All right.
Just gonna warn you, 'cause the yeet potential in this building is quite high.
Very cool. All right. All right, Ed. So yes, the Synthwave Spire is a puzzle base that you enter from the top. So we're gonna come in for a landing here. Spock, what's going on this morning? How you doing, man? Appreciate you stopping by. Rev said he made it 3 floors before he got yeeted out. All right.
Still, and like I said, I feel your pain, buddy, but it's objectively funny.
It is, yeah. so I'm going to land, but before I go in, we're going to jump into photo mode here. Show everybody the outside of the spire. Because you did a fantastic job with the outside of this. I really like how you've got the inverted alloy roofs with the texture, and then you just pulled some of the panels out a little bit, so it looks like it's kind of just being assembled as we speak. And then I can see that 96.
It's interesting you went that direction because it's basically exploding.
Yeah.
But I could see it going either way.
Yeah.
This is a deconstructed skyscraper.
Uh-huh.
Right? And basically the concept of this was it's exploding from the middle and you're catching it in a blast wave.
Okay.
So that's kind of what you're seeing. But it's interesting that you're seeing it being assembled and I built it to be being blown apart.
Being blown apart.
That's what that that's what that effect is. It's blown apart and frozen in time.
Okay.
But that's cool. I'd never even thought about it that way. That's a really interesting way of looking at it. So you're an optimist.
Yeah. I like that. Yeah, doubled 96-sided circle of the light panels, and then you've also got another light panel glitched onto the connector of the first one. So
they're also different color offsets. So
they are, yeah.
And internally it's lighter and externally it's darker, so it's giving you that kind of natural glow.
Yeah, yellow and orange. That's a nice look, and that's a fun way to spend 392 pieces.
Oh, seriously, man, you have no idea. Like, anybody that's done the larger circles, I have like mad respect for you. This is that times 4 plus all of the wiring has to be done each one, so it's another multiplied times 4 problem.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you're at a good 750 plus there, just in that range.
Part count on this base was a massive negotiation.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
Well, it's two parts shy of the 3,000 limit.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and I'll show you a trick. Right, this is something that I mentioned to you last night. Mm-hmm. When you look at the tower, you see this cloud of objects around it. The impression is that it's surrounded by these objects, but if you look down towards the bottom and find the door, there's a door on the bottom. You can only get out at the bottom. You can't get in.
Okay, that's the out only. All right, gotcha. I see it.
Yeah, that side of the building it doesn't have anything around it. Like it's just flat, and that side of the building is meant to be. I can pull all the plating off the front and then work on the interior.
Like a dollhouse, yeah.
Exactly. And one thing I wanted to mention was I thought about that ahead of time. Mm-hmm. Because I knew that I was going to have to go in and out of this, and we've all had this problem where you build something into an interior space and you got to go make a change and you have to deconstruct the entire object around it. So I built in the ability to maintain it as one of its basic structural artifacts. Like see that staircase down there, like that entire front of the building, there's no floating panels in front of it. It's just up until the top section, and that section is kind of mostly, well, I can't tell you what it is, but I would never open that part, right? Okay. But the rest of it, I could pop the floor panel off and then have access to the space inside and then put the floor panel back, because the exterior skin is all floor panels.
Yeah, that's a nice approach too. Yeah, very cool. Zenith Hellhammer, what's happening, man? How you doing? What is going on? Bad Hat says, "Oh man, I've been wondering who made that. Nice build." Fucking nice build, Tesseract. Yeah.
It's 75 stories tall, 4 floor plates square. One of the other things is I originally designed this before they made the change to the saves, and the reason that there's only one landing pad and it's all the way at the top is I was forcing you to create a save on the way in, because I will warn you guys, there are several no exit traps in here. You will get stuck. So you're going to have to reload. So be prepared. Right. Create a save.
All right. Well, everybody, here is the glyphs on screen. It's also on the Distant World Tours website. You can check out Tesseract there. He's the last waypoint on stage 5. And so, yeah, it looks like a blown open board cube. Yeah. Joe, Napoleon blown apart. Nice. Nicely done, my friend. All right. Maintenance hatches. Gotta like it. Yep. Zabs approves. All right. Let's get at it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've basically designed complex systems for a living, and you know, the maintenance cost is always the unintended overhead.
Mhm.
So it's build that in the beginning, and you will save yourself much headache.
I like the little synthwave spire spelled out in tiny pill lights. That's nice.
So somebody, the same person I was talking to about lighting the other night mentioned that you did a video on how to do pill light signs.
Mhm.
I wanted to point out to everybody, when you're looking at this, the wall behind it is the reason why those are all lined up. I used the metal wall, and it has a grid built in, and I actually just hand placed all those. So I know you did a video on how to do lettering. I have no idea like that. What I did is I went out and looked up an old dot matrix font
Mm-hmm.
and figured out how I could do lettering to look like a cohesive font from an old version of dot matrix print, and then just put it on the grid along
Put
the
it
wall.
on the- yeah.
It's just, that's all a hand play. I do a ridiculous amount of hand placement.
But yeah, having yourself setting up a grid is the way to do it. Yeah, I'll set up a grid of light boxes, and then I'll set up each corner of the letter, and then just basically curve the light pill lights together. Just fill it in once you get the corners set. That way you make sure everything meets together all nice. But having a grid behind it that you can delete or keep there, like with the case of those case of the wall, is a must if you're going to be making pill light signs that are look like they're not hand placed.
Well,
Look like
I
they
used to
could have
be-
been glitched in.
I used to be a little, I would say ashamed, but I would not admit that I was hand placing most things.
Oh no!
But then I saw
yeah.
Rosie and her builds and all her hand play, and I'm like, oh no, I'm just gonna be totally honest with it. I'm hand placing all this crap over here.
Absolutely, yeah. No point in it.
I mean, seriously.
She's so good.
When she put up her build in the Discord, I was like, oh well, now I know what it feels like to be dunked on.
Yeah. For real. Yeah, no doubt about
Thanks
that.
for
I like these. Like the cabinets very much. All right.
Yeah, I'm starting to play. Like I said, I'm starting to play around with some variations. You can see there's going to be an arcade tour somewhere in the future.
Definitely can see that. Yeah, most definitely.
Because I would love to see what people do.
That'll be a lot of fun. Yeah, I think that'd be cool. See what people come up with.
So I give you a little backstory.
Yeah.
This tower, the second version of the tower, had two paths that went down, the red side and the blue side. And if anybody's familiar with older Disney rides, you'd be like on the People Shrinker or something, and then up in the, like up near the roof, there's like a glass tube, and the People Mover would go through there.
Mm-hmm.
So you're either in the ride or you're observing the people in the ride. So that was the concept for the tower. The blue path was basically really easy, kind of a tourist walking path with one really simple puzzle. But most of the time you could just observe what was going on the red side. But then they made a change to the teleporters. They didn't used to power if you had base power on. They didn't used to power, and now they do.
Now they do. Yep.
So I had to take out the blue path because the reasons. It caused some problems, and the tower used to be enter, and you basically the only way out is reload your save or solve the puzzle or get thrown out the door. You couldn't backtrack, but now because of part count, I can't use wiring. So I just use base power. Because I really need all the parts, and the wiring and the number of teleporters I'm using interacted horribly with each other.
I'm sure, yeah. And added up, too. I'm sure it's
the part count went up by like almost 1,000 with all the electrical, so I had to yank all that out. And that causes some issues. You know, you get one benefit, you have 10 other problems.
Precisely, yep. This room's freaky, yeah. This room's nicely done, yeah.
So the lab lobby was the original blue path, and the lab explosion on the other side of the glass was the red path, and the door didn't used to open, so I had to make some changes. But
Okay, gotcha.
and I've added the flame barrels because those were introduced.
Those things are so cool, yeah.
Yeah, and those that actually makes that room a lot more interesting.
Oh, it does, yeah. Yeah, the barrels make the room a hell of a lot more interesting.
Oh, and I can't remember who just did this. I think it was APG, and I think Rev does this too. I stole the stickers
Mhm.
and used them to be like goo on stuff, spills on the floor and
Yeah.
goo on the walls.
Yeah, Dan Malvina did it too in her...
Yes, that's it.
yeah.
Malvina.
Yeah. In her Aliens
The benefit of coming
homage.
later in the tour.
Yeah. Get to
I mean, I can see what everybody else is
see what
doing,
everybody
make
else does
slight-
and steal it. Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I like that. That's cool with the mud hut. It's a nice look.
Yeah, it is bright. Who just said that? I scrolled past.
Yeah.
Adam. Yeah. Oh, Shogun. Yeah, it is bright. The problem is that we were just talking about this. The light sources are additive.
Mm.
So the
Sword,
more
what's
you put
happening,
in-
dude?
Yeah.
How are you doing this morning, Sword? What is going on, my friend? Appreciate you stopping by. We're going through a puzzle base by Tesseract here. That we just hit our first decision tree. And got yeeted.
Oh, did you? You're
Yep.
still in the room for us on stream, so.
Oh, yep. Got yeeted. Picked the wrong one of the teleporters. And yeah, wow, you get thrown. You're definitely making full
Yes.
use of that mod. No doubt about
Oh yeah.
that.
Well, you're just. I think that one is 1,000 U.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all.
It's a great.
I'm a
Great
ways
view of
out
the
there.
tower.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Well, no, I can't even see the tower. I got yeeted that far. I gotta call back in my ship here. Oh no, we're not doing that. I did notice that save point there though. Mad
Oh, yeah,
Doctor,
so
what's happening, my friend? Alex Van Logan, what's going on?
I mentioned this to Anra last night, and I'll give this one to all the people that are watching his stream. In the decision rooms where you have a high likelihood of either being trapped in a box you can't get out of or thrown halfway across the planet, which will happen, there's always a save point somewhere in the room. It's just not obvious. So, when confronted with choice, look around.
Yeah, yep. Load back into the room. There we go. Okay.
I'm really hoping you get thrown in the furnace.
Thanks a lot, my friend. Appreciate that.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, again, sorry, I feel your pain, but it's still objectively funny.
It is, yeah. And I think that just happened. Oh, we
I
got-
know you're still on the stream. You're still,
buttons.
for me, you're still loading into the room.
Okay.
Well, I
We
did
got a
warn
whole
everybody.
bunch of switches.
You are not gonna make it through this the first time. There's enough information in most of the spaces to figure out how to get through, but in cases like this, it's literally random chance, and because there are 3 choices, it's stacked against you.
It is, yep.
Oh yeah, that's the furnace.
That's the furnace? Okay. Alright, so
Thank you, Enra. You just made my day.
well, I'm here to help, my friend. We aim to please here at Silver Industries. Set your scanners for save points, yep. No Man's Sky escape room. Yeah, there you go, Sword. This is definitely that. Okay. Alright. I'm gonna have to reload my store point again. Process of elimination. I know which teleporter to hit now. Roasted Enra. Thanks. I appreciate you not letting me go to waste there, Adam Mac.
I'm gonna to be honest, like the original concept for this tower was like I had gotten trapped in a trap base, not a bad one. It was basically set up as somebody did a trap base. It was kind of fun. And I wanted to do one myself, and it was right about the same time the fireplaces came out. And I was playing around with like throwing people in rooms, and then I don't know even when I thought about it, but it just made sense to throw them in a room full of fire because why not?
Yeah.
And so the whole concept of the lab explosion and being thrown in the furnace came from that seed. And then when I was playing around with the design of the tower, because of the size of the circle, the tower has to be a certain height to balance that out, and that ends up being about 75 stories. So
that's tall, yeah.
So then I know.
Man, you got a lot of stuff jammed in here, man. This is a packed room.
It's it was meant to actually just be like an art installation. It was originally just going to be empty, but I was also at the same time playing around with that puzzle idea, and then it all of a sudden clicked. I should probably do a tower maze.
Yeah.
Oh, you're in the boiler room.
Yeah.
You chose wisely.
after I hit both of the other ones, yeah. Then I was like, oh, this is the one I'm supposed to choose. Okay.
Did you catch the Easter egg? It just went by on the stream.
I must
Portal
not.
Players.
I must not. Oh, I didn't play Portal.
Oh, see, you missed out, my friend. Because in the substructure inside Portal, there were these like posters and at the end of Portal, you were supposed to be able to get cake for taking all the tests. And then inside the walls, it would always say the cake is a lie.
Ah, that's what that's from. Okay, I've seen those memes that the cake is a lie.
The cake is a lie.
Yeah.
So that's what that is. When you hop over that one pipe. Oh, yeah.
Okay. That's what that cake is there for. Gotcha.
Yeah, the cake is a lie.
The cake is a lie.
The cake is a lie.
Yeah. Put up a disclaimer. Not responsible for lost saves. Yep. There you go, Sword.
I can't tell you anything about where you're at.
Okay.
You're just gonna have to figure this out on your own.
That's okay. No worries.
sorry, not sorry.
Exactly. So.
Oh, and I will point this out. This kind of upset me. Do you remember these things used to have like a 5-minute max? You could load them up and they would run for about 5 minutes.
Oh, the biofuel reactors.
The biofuel.
Yeah.
And now it runs for like 2.5 days. I'm like, great, thanks for that.
Yeah, they just keep going. Yeah.
Well, I used the biofuel powers half of this puzzle, and it had basically that built in a timer. So you had however long the biofuel thing was running to
finish it out. Yeah.
And if it ran out when you were in the bottom half, you'd get stuck.
You were stuck. So
it added an element of threat, but then they made that change, and now it's like, oh well, if I throw one oxygen in there, I got like an hour and a half. So
yeah, exactly. Whatever. Yeah, keep going.
I mean, Hello Games, I love you dearly, but thanks for that.
Yeah, appreciate it, guys.
Like, stop messing with the gravitational constant, please.
So yeah. Just come on, guys. For real.
Work it out, Enro. Work it out.
Yep, we're working it out. I don't know if I'm gonna work it out, but we're seeing what we can see anyway.
Oh, funny, Madacor. It's like, just use the portal gun. Nice one. Nice.
All right, I'm gonna assume that's an inside portal joke then. All right.
Yeah, well, the portal basically was a short version of the story is you woke up in a lab, you had no idea what was going on, but you had this gun that could create an orange and a blue portal, and basically it was a wormhole.
Oh,
And
okay.
you had to solve puzzles by placing the wormholes so that you could either go in and out, or an object could pass through, and it's complicated and a hell of a lot of fun. It
Oh,
came with
okay.
the orange box, like Team Fortress, and
Mhm.
I can't remember the other game. Yeah, I can't remember the other game. It was just like an indie game back in the day, and it was so much fun. It was just so much fun, and it had a great soundtrack by Jonathan Colton, who also does Code Monkey, one of my favorite songs ever.
Okay. That's okay. So now.
Nearly there.
Nearly there, he says. Okay.
So close. You're so
I
close.
know, I know. Ah,
Yeah, Delta, that's what we were talking about. That's Jonathan Colton. Um, and fun fact, he was oh, yeah, I'm having a bad name day. Uh, the guy on HBO used to be on the Jon Stewart show. Can't think of his name right now. John something. I don't know, the little British guy with glasses.
oh,
That was
okay,
Jonathan
yeah.
Colton's. Yeah, that was Jonathan Colton's college roommate.
Oh, really? John
Yeah,
Oliver. John Oliver.
John Oliver. Yeah, I
Yeah.
keep thinking every time I see his face, I keep thinking Steve Colbert, and I'm like, that's not him.
No. Also from the Daily Show, but yeah.
Yeah, that's why it's like switching in.
Yeah.
But I'll, I'll just put this out there. My average sleep cycle towards when we're getting ready to launch a stage of the tour is around 3 hours a night. So you'll just have to bear with my lack of memory for right now.
Is that what you did? You tricky bastard. Yep, that's what it is. Okay, there we go. Ah, you tricky, tricky man. There we go. So, no. One more up. Go back up. Here we go. This one. Didn't notice that sphere generator until now.
Well, the
And yet
doors
it's.
closed on entry.
Yeah, yeah. So there we
It
go.
it actually took a bit to place it where it doesn't automatically just have the interact thing come up when you get
Mm-hmm.
near the wall.
Yeah.
That was because I noticed
Drops
when I
it
watched a
down
couple people do it, they were able to get to the sphere generator without opening the wall. I'm like,
without
oh,
opening
that's
the
not good.
wall. Yep. Yeah, that's something you got to watch for. Yep. Okay, there we go.
Now you got it.
Yeah. That'll do it.
Yeah, imagine having to do this in under 4 minutes.
Yeah. No, thank you. No, thank you.
Well, so to in that and this is yeah, I just was like packing crap in space. So one of the things I like to do is and because you're in this kind of transitional space where everything's just tightly packed, is the tower is immense, and I prime you on that understanding when you walk in, and then the entire time you're going down the tower, the rooms are getting ever so much smaller and tighter.
Yeah.
And
You dirty bastard. Oh my god, this is gonna be interesting.
oh yeah.
Okay. Let's see here. I
Remember I
betcha.
told you there was one room you'd get into and it'd be like, oh, what the
Oh. Yep. All right.
Just
There's my save point.
so here for the room again, I'll give you guys a hint. There is enough information in this room to tell you how to get through the room. You just have to be aware of it.
Mhm.
Careful.
Oh yeah.
I just saw you do something that I'm gonna have to go in and fix because that was an unintended thing.
Oh, okay.
Well, no, it's good. That's the whole point. Is I can never really follow somebody this deep in because like I can't be in there with you, and it's a sealed environment. So I really just have. It's hard for me to observe.
Yeah.
So but I noticed something I need to tweak. Like the same problem with the ball, right? You can reach that switch from outside the glass box. I need to move the switch so you can't.
Uh-huh.
So I will do that as soon as you're out. Well, I mean, yeah, so you can just careful.
Yeah, very, very carefully. Oh, oh.
Oh, you're not getting through that, no.
Yep, got yeeted. Damn it, went too far. Alrighty. Fly back up to the top. Nope, save point. I found the save point before I got into it. Yeah. definitely Zabs. Take notes, people. Yeah, that room's a great idea. Yeah, with the SRTs. Christy, what's happening? Throttle Jockey, what's going on? Yeah, speed run? No thanks, Mad Doctor.
No, right. So, one thing to that stuff out the little weird tower off to the side. There's a teleport ring over there, so you can, like, the terminus ring is off in the trees, off to the side of the building. The planet switched to a completely dickish Sentinel mode during this last patch.
Mm-hmm.
It used to be just your average viridescent bubble planet, and then all of a sudden it's these sticky Sentinels that won't go away ever.
Fun, yeah.
So watch yourselves when you're out there. But what was I going to say? Oh, SRTs. For anybody that wants to give this a try, do not cross the streams. Bad things happen when the SRT wires cross each other or even come in close proximity of each other.
Mm-hmm.
And I cannot understate just how complicated the inside of this tower is when you have to basically wire all the SRTs and have them not come in contact with each other.
Mm-hmm.
That right there was like this room especially. I hate
I'm
this
sure,
room.
yeah. Oh yeah.
I built this room, and I built this. This is the room I hate the most because I built it. I know how to get through it, and 9 times out of 10, I'm like 1,000 U away, going, "Oh, god damn it!"
I didn't mean to hit that.
It's like, I just needed to place a wire, for crying out loud.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So that's the.
Oh, and watch where the transit cables go. That's one of the visual cues.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can see the direction they head. Yeah, when they go or where they're going. Also, the SRTs are different colors.
Oh, I love the Escape from New York reference, Old Explorer. That's awesome.
Oh yeah, Escape from New York. Good stuff. There we go. Snake Plissken, my friends. Absolutely, yep. Kurt Russell, one of my all-time favorites. I thoroughly enjoyed both the escapes. And so, yeah.
You know, the second one was cool because again, I'm from Southern Cal, so that was fine, except for the surfing scene. They lost.
that was kind of a stretch. It was. I'll give you that. Definitely.
Like, nope, that's not how that
No.
Can confirm.
Yeah. Okay, so you're technically not supposed to be able to hit that switch from the outside, I bet you. Oh, there we go.
You're not, but like I said, it's you're kind of my first. This is the first time I've been able to watch somebody go through this room.
See you later, Alex.
Most of the time, I just get the stream of curses.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna have to move that switch, but for now, don't worry about it. But the way that this functions, one of the teleports will send you up into the glass cube to flip the switch, which opens. You've seen it open that door in the exit room, and then another teleporter takes you into the exit room. But you have to have opened the door, or
first.
You won't be able to get to that teleport.
Yeah.
Oh, bye.
Yeah. All right, load back in.
Well, what I can tell you though is this is the last puzzle in the tower. The rest of it is just treasure.
Okay.
If you make it through this, you basically are in the treasure room.
That's the one I came through. Okay.
I'm gonna have to hit up Nolander because there's so many things I want to do in here that require logic.
Yeah.
And he's like the king of the logic.
Oh, he is absolutely, yeah.
With all the wiring and everything, so I'm like, I've never actually had a chance to interact with him, but I saw like his base build. And I'm just thinking like
we're doing those tomorrow, and it's gonna be another brain burner.
I mean, yeah. He has a functional calculator.
He does.
A functional calculator.
Yep, yep. He built a functional calculator. The dude's, yeah, next level with the logic stuff. I mean, well, what it is, he gets it on a level that I can't comprehend.
Well, it's like him and not Mr. Fishhead. I have to pull up the tour. Again, I'm having a very little sleep. The one that built the circuit board, Blender guy.
Oh, Peter Land.
Yeah, Peter. Thank you. I'm sorry. He's an electrical engineer, so of course he can build a circuit board that would function.
Looks exactly like a circuit board too. Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, and I'm pretty sure Nolander has some form of.
I think he does. Yeah, some sort of programming experience. I'm pretty sure.
So it's like, yeah, there are some things I want to do in the tower. I'll warn everybody again. I'm giving you guys some freebies because you're on the stream. If you get thrown in the room, like the furnace, and there's a wall of switches, they don't do anything. They're just there to make you feel like you might have a way out other than reloading your save. But eventually, nice. I want to build a logic puzzle in there so you can unlock that room and get back out.
And get out. That's a nice touch.
Because there's another, and you might still end up in it. There's another trap that's actually on the outside of the building. It's a glass box. It's underneath one of the exposed sections, and you, in this room especially, can very likely get thrown into it. And you're just trapped in an open area you can't get out of, but it's on the outside of the building, so we can all laugh at you. But it has a bunch of switches in it too, and what I'd like to do is have it open the garage door so you can get out if you get the code right. And that's on my list of things to learn how to do in this game. So.
You just got quoted, my friend. Delta gotcha. Add quote, "You're kind of my first Tesseract, April 2023. Or encourage hope, then destroy. Yeah. This little piggy's running in circles. All right.
You're hitting all the ejection buttons.
I am, yeah. I'm finding them all.
But you gotta be that room. So One of the things that you learn when you're working in game design is sort of a progressive learning language, like learning curve management.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll see it in games that have like a starter environment, and then they have a bunch of quests or something that run you around in a safe environment, and then they start slowly expanding
There
you
we
into
go.
greater danger and greater uh, capabilities. The tower has that built in. The puzzles all build on top of each other. So when you're in, like, I'll give you an example: the boiler room.
Mm-hmm.
You basically, it's a little bit of a platformer. There's nothing dangerous in there. You're just making a U-turn, but you have to use your jetpack to maneuver through the piping,
Mm-hmm.
and that informs the things that you're going to have to be doing later on, which is ever so gently aiming yourself through the teleporters using your jetpack without just bumping and yeeting.
Yeah.
Hey, you made
Yeah.
it! You're in the party room.
Whee! And now you get all the
Ah,
things.
that was
All
just
the
meant to be a ceiling fixture, but okay.
things.
Those ball generators make a really good light.
They do. Oh, they make a phenomenal light. Yeah. And the out. Okay.
Yeah, so in the early version of this tower, when there were two paths, the two paths would converge again in that room.
Uh-huh. Oh,
And
that's
then
cool.
and then it would be, yeah, but I had to, like I said, I had to
Had to
remap it. So.
remap it. Yep. Okay, so yeah, your message beacons are still empty.
Yeah, the funny
Yeah.
thing is they're not for me.
Of course, because No Man's
And
Sky.
I've seen this. That's what I was saying in the Discord. Is for all of us, they're not, but for everybody that visits them, they are. So that one in that room says, "To the victor go the spoils."
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this door will shut immediately
Oh well,
the
yeah,
second you
but
cross
did.
the threshold. So if you want to grab all the goodies, you got to grab them before you leave the room.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. This is my legacy save. I've got all the goodies on this save.
Oh no,
I'm
it's
not
just
really
it's
worried. Yeah.
all the free stuff and some cash plants, and that's it.
Yeah.
The yeah. So I mean, welcome. Thank you for taking the tower tour.
Absolutely, yeah. That's a lot of fun, dude. I like that a lot. That's a fun puzzle base. I'm definitely gonna steal some of those ideas from my next one. So that teleporter room specifically, that was a
Oh, I
fun
have
one.
another version of that in the works. That's basically a ping pong machine, and it's just gonna mess with your. Because I'm gonna be throwing you all over the place. I'm
Nice.
testing it out currently.
Okay.
So we're on V7 of the tower. V8 is gonna be painful.
Painful. There you go. All right. That'll be a good way to put it. Painful. There you go.
Yeah, I don't remember. I think it was Scottish Rod. I don't want to name drop on your stream, but I did learn how to do the 96 sided circle from him. I know a lot of people have a hard time with his accent. For some reason, I do not. But give it a try, man. Just try the big circles. They're daunting, but there's so many cool things you can do.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I think I did a 128 just to say that I did it. But I tend to pack stuff in so tight that it gets a bit out of hand.
Yeah, I've been watching your tri archive build, and
Yeah.
you're you're going for maximum density.
They pack in there. Yep. And
What?
then my Void build, or my Distant World Tours build, is the complete opposite, just a shell. But
I mean, that's cool. You know,
yeah.
I'm like, did you make your deadline? And my project manager mind just kicked in. I'm like, did you make your deadline? Is it uploaded? You know? Like,
It's uploaded. I didn't make the deadline, but it is
I was
uploaded.
talking to. I know Slacks was mentioned. Well, no, I mean you got all kind of streaming stuff to do, so whatever. But I'm going to be putting the pages together for stage 6 today and tomorrow. So
Okay, yeah, Slacks was there grabbing pics last night. So
yeah.
all right.
Yeah, I
Now,
actually had to go out to.
Yeah. Thanks, Maxie. I appreciate that. I
I
didn't
had
see
to
if
go to
I.
Great Raptors. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say hi to Maxie Bloke. I didn't see him get in here, but of course he caught that quote and added it. All right. I gotta reload my pulse star.
My I had to go out and take pictures of one of Brit Raptor's bases because like anytime Slacks got near it, he crashed.
Yep. He was telling me, yeah.
I don't know if that's part of the current. Well, he's on PlayStation, so it's not part of the current Xbox trouble.
It's
My
not, yeah.
tower base used to do that to Xboxes constantly. If they came anywhere near it, they would just instantly blue screen. I had to strip out a bunch of parts to help them deal with that.
All right, so we are going to finish up here at Rocket League Arena, sorry.
Somebody pointed out to me yesterday that if it was a true Rocket League arena, the ball would be 4 times bigger, and I'm like, oh yeah, that is true. So I may do that, but it also means I'm going to have to pull the goals out and resize them, which is not a problem. It's just I wasn't going to be able to do that before today, so you guys will have to let me know, should I make the goals and the ball bigger to make it true Rocket League, or is it cool as is?
All right, and again, there's the billboards. They're nice. It's kind of a... Oh, there we go. Yeah, a little seating area for the viewers.
Yeah, the weird part is the hardest thing to figure out in this construction was to get the gap in the viewing area wide enough that you could see through it and see the whole field, but small enough that the vehicles didn't get stuck on it. Yeah, see, okay, the billboards are freaking out for you. They do when I log in on that, the pattern is correct. But half the people that come here, the bite beats are all jacked up. So
yeah.
I don't know what's going on, because I've checked them several times. They're working on my save. They just seem jacked up for everybody else.
Yeah, there's a couple of them that are on permanently.
Yeah, the ones on the back. This base is at part count.
Okay.
So I need 4 switches and 3 bite beats to make those 3 billboards blink, and I didn't have the parts. So the ones that face away from the parking lot are just perma, and all the rest do like a progression in towards the middle, and then the one in the middle, all the boxes come in kind of one at a time. But man, I don't know what happened with that update a week ago. It just fried all the bite beats. I know Peter's builds, the ones with David Ian,
yeah.
He uses a lot of bite beats in one of his rocket builds, and it just completely destroyed all of them, and he's fixed it many times, and it just keeps resetting. So
it's
had the same problem.
It's weird. It makes me think they're doing stuff in the background with the bite beats.
Maybe, I don't know. But I can't stabilize it, so it's kind of a bummer. But yeah, you've seen the blinky signs. On the base that won't load, they work. On the base that will load, they don't. No, nothing makes sense.
Welcome to No Man's Sky. There we go. All right, so
yeah, I tucked the skybox up in the billboards, because that made sense.
Yeah, it does.
There's the scoreboards, if they work, are active when you score a goal. It lights up the scoreboard.
Okay.
The 2 sides of the field each have 4 landing pads and all the exos, and then there's the landing, like the parking lot and the viewing area.
Gotcha. Okay, so let me pop over to one of the sides here.
What I wanted to do was I set up a teleporter from down here to up in the landing area, but again, I'm at part count and I just couldn't. But you can fly up there. Yeah, there's 4 landing pads on each side. If you can't get down to the field from in here, you can jump in from up on top. If you're down on the field, inside each goal, there's a teleport that takes you up to the team area on that side.
Okay.
And underneath the team landing area, there's a staircase that goes down. The lowest teleporter takes you to the skybox.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
And I have to feel apologetic for the decorations inside the skybox are kind of pitiful, because part count,
Part count. Yep.
Hard count.
Yes, indeed. Oh,
You want a
there's.
solid floor? Then you only get one couch. Shut up.
Well, we did get the after party clue popping in.
Did you
That
really?
message beacon's working. Yeah.
That's okay. So you're the only one that's been able to see it.
Okay. Yep. Never seen a streamer yet look pissed or bothered because someone dropped a name on their. It doesn't matter. Yeah, that's. Don't really bother me too much about name dropping and what have you. But
Well, it's
yeah.
basically it's like a point of entry game. Learning how to glitch build. One of the things I found really frustrating early on was every one of the streamers that's doing tutorials uses slightly different terminology for the same maneuver, and that became really, really frustrating. So I ended up deciding to pick just the one and stick with him for a while until I got a handle on it. And I was the circle that Rod was doing, the 96-sided circle, seemed interesting and fascinating. And yeah, why start small? I mean, seriously, go
Yeah.
if you're gonna do it big.
Go big.
So, and then I'm still at the point where I can almost understand crisscross, but not really. Okay.
Yeah,
I know
same
he's
thing.
saying, I know he's saying words and doing things, but damn, he's fast.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, but I still have got a. Quite often, if I'm watching a video of his, I'll pause it, be like, okay, so he pulled the wire from that direction and then attached it over there, and that's why it's coming in at that angle. And yeah,
Yeah,
still
I
gotta
thought I
think
kinda
my way back
understood
through
some
it.
of yeah, I thought I understood some of his techniques until I took a really detailed look at his builds for the tour, and I'm like, oh no,
No,
no, I have no idea,
no idea
none
how I did
whatsoever.
that. Yeah.
Don't have any clue, none at all.
Yep. So Wednesday we'll see those. Wednesday morning stream. Chris Cross will be joining us, and we'll go check out his Stage 5 waypoint. This arena is lots of fun. So yeah, let me jump into photo mode. I gotta. Oh, and that's fun. That's fun. My Exocraft is moving with the movement of the photo mode. That's super cool.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I did not know they did that. All right, where's the car?
Yeah.
I like the car.
You like the car?
Oh wait, hovercraft. The hovercraft and the car are kind of my jam. The motorcycle's fast, but it's good on flat surfaces. But the car, if you put drift on your vehicles when you come in here, it's hysterical. Like, this is so much fun with drift on.
Okay, I'm gonna have to try that. I don't have. This isn't the save that I've got any Exocrafts pimped out on. I don't think. Yeah, I don't think this is that save. So I do like those little undercuts with the race force amplifiers. Yeah, the under.
Yeah, there's a speed tunnel underneath. So there is a way to do this, and I was able to do it after a bunch of practice, where you can come up and do a loop on the corner,
Mm-hmm.
and then go straight down the tunnel and pop out the other side.
Oh,
and with some
nice.
practice, I was especially with the hovercraft, I was able to take the ball and run it to the other side of the field through the tunnel.
Through the tunnel, nice. Yeah.
Because the hovercraft has a nice scoop on the front. The car is fast, but it rolls over the ball half the time. But the hovercraft scoops it up and carries it around.
Okay, that's good to know. Yeah.
But we've tried to play like an actual game in here, and I put a bunch of color coding. So there's you can't the yellow zones in front of the cutout tunnel, and the goals are if you're gonna put some rules to the game, is you can't just park a vehicle in front of the goal. That would be
that'd be a bit
penalty zone kind of thing. But what ends up happening almost every time is we bump the ball around and try to make goals, but then eventually it becomes a free for all of bumper cars.
It does, yeah.
With lasers Just gonna say.
With bumper cars with lasers. Yep. Yeah, that's true, Zabs. Yeah, the beginner tutorials that Chris does are definitely nice and easy to understand. It's the more advanced ones that are
Or if you
nice.
watch
Yeah.
him build, I mean, I tried
Yeah.
to do that the other day, and
Jump into a live stream.
was-
Yeah.
I mean, the dude, he's stitching something together that's like 8-dimensional,
Mhm.
and he's carrying 4 conversations, and he's moving at the speed that I can't even follow his clicking. I'm like, oh, jeez.
Yeah.
I mean, there's always that one person who's just a savant with whatever, and I think that's him.
Yep. Definitely, I think so. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Adam, you can't join cross-platform because he's Xbox, and Xbox doesn't have the update yet. Oh, he has fallen down and he can't get up. That's not nice, Maxie. So of course Maxie said it.
I'm on the wrong side.
That's the deal. All right.
Oh yeah, there's the clue. All right, so yay.
Yeah. Clue showed up.
Oh yeah, so
Nice.
since we mentioned it, I'm gonna publish the after party address when Stage 6 goes live.
Uh-huh.
So for those who don't know, it's basically just an open system where we're inviting everybody to build, since we kind of asked people not to build along the way.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
But yeah, nice.
We want to have like a place where we can all kind of just get together and hang out, but it's gonna, you know, part of the, there we go. See, that's a choice. That's just so choice.
Yeah.
Get all the boosts in the drifty car. Oh.
There you go. Yeah, just slide around.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, look, there you go.
Yeah, it's just, you know,
Yeah, pulling
it's really
donuts.
Fun, really fun. Boink.
Yeah, boink. Nice.
So
Very cool.
This whole thing evolved, right? At Unification Day, I built this because, I don't know, just I was out and I found a mountain, and I was playing with the sphere, and I started deconstructing the sphere.
Mm-hmm.
So I built the corner, and then when it rounds out, and then as soon as it goes to a flat plane, I just extended that out and built another corner, and then it dawned on me, you know, I could build like a, and it didn't go all the way up and curve over. It was just kind of half wall.
Uh-huh.
And I thought it would be kind of cool to do like a mech arena. Hey, mech arena.
Yep.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I had to. It was just right there.
It was right there. Oh my god.
But
That's fun. All right.
But I had seen one on Reddit from a while back, and I was never able to find it. And I thought, yeah, well, I want to build one of those.
Mm-hmm.
But what I didn't realize was, you remember when the griefer was attacking people on the anomaly with the mech?
Yep.
They nerfed the mechs to the point where not only can they not do damage to you anymore, they can't do damage to each other, and they actually just walk right through each other, so there's no collision.
Oh wow. So you can't really do a mech battle. Yeah.
Yeah, the mech battle was like, I wanted Rock'em Sock'em Robots, and basically I got holograms.
Yeah.
So I'm like, great. Okay. Well then, you remember Heaven's Merc, right? We were playing around with that, and it was, the arena was about half the size, maybe a quarter of the size of its current construct, and the wall only went up halfway.
Mm-hmm.
And he mentioned that it wasn't, like, it didn't feel big enough. So because it was 16 by 16, right? That I was playing with the 16s.
Yeah.
So I decided to make it. I was like, well, I can just go and do the thing. So I built it all the way out, but then the problem was the halls only went up halfway, so the cars and the vehicles were constantly going off
spinning out
into the sky.
Yeah.
So I extended it up to give it a curve, and then that's kind of where we are now.
Yeah.
Now you can do loops, and
Now
you can do all kinds of jumps and spins and have fun, man. Just come play.
And stay
I'm gonna
inside.
leave this here for a while because
awesome.
you gotta come. This is fun.
Yeah. This
is
fun.
really fun.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to upgrade Exocraft off stream, and we're gonna have to stream some fun from here.
The stations are up in the skybox for the Exocraft. So if you need to buy the blueprints when you're here, get up to the skybox, and the Exocraft stations are up there.
Gotcha. Okay.
The new ones, the little hologram ones.
I
stuck them up.
The Utopia stations. Yeah, I did see them up there. Yep. Yeah, so that's a handy way to get started for people. All right. Well, I think I'm about out of time here, my friend. I got to get my littles off to school. But I appreciate you jumping into chat here and walking everybody through the bases here. And I appreciate all the work and effort you've been putting in just to make this whole thing happen. So anybody in chat who is not aware, Tesseract puts in pretty much a full-time job building the website, keeping everything running, and he's been doing a phenomenal job at it. And really, this came together better than I ever anticipated it coming together, man. And you and Slacks have really just buckled down and put in the hard work and just made this happen through just sheer bloody-minded determination. And so I've got mad respect for both you guys putting this together and coming up with such a fun idea and pretty much griefer proofing it for as much as you can in No Man's Sky.
Yeah, I mean, 99.99% of the way the tour is structured was to answer the question of how can we do a collaborative event when the game punishes us for being in the same place at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So if you look at the tour, basically stringing it all out was an answer to that question, and then making a sense of community around it really falls down to the website gives us a central point, but really it comes down to like your streaming and stuff. Really appreciate all of the work you guys have been doing too, because that really stitches it all together.
It does, yeah.
One person I want to point out,
together.
because Slacks is out there all over the place doing the kind of community management and taking all the photos and stuff, which leaves me free to sort of bury myself in getting everything organized for the website, which is a lot. But what the one person you guys aren't seeing is Scheming Monkey in game is Zepsonic on the Discord. She's out there scanning every single system for all the ships, all the multi-tools, all the fauna, all the glitches, and all of that information that's coming on the page is coming from her.
Yeah.
So, mad props to her, because that's a heck of a lot of work. All I'm doing is putting it on a webpage.
Absolutely, yeah. So. Yeah, I apologies, Zep, for not mentioning you. I need to get better at that, because she does so much work. And doing all the scanning of the systems
it's fun. I think what ended up happening is we came into the tour
Tesseract's driving the car, OE.
Yeah, we started talking about the tour at Unification Day because we were running into so many bases in one space problem, and so we started digging into how do we solve for that, and then it said, well, like we could do it this way, and we thought about how we would structure it, and I said, well, we could probably do it in the beginning of the year. So we waited until after Christmas. So the whole thing really kind of kicked off on January 15th. So between January and 15th to now, the entire thing was put together, scheduled, structured, and built and launched. And that's really fast.
It's very fast. Yeah.
So like I said, Zep has been hauling ass, scanning systems. The builders have been great. Like this event would be nothing without all the builders. So it's more to them than it is to us. But I think as long as all of you guys are having fun and this is enjoyable, we'll keep doing it, because I think this is working.
I think it is, absolutely. Yeah. From my perspective, absolutely 100%. This has been a lot of fun. It's fun content to show people. Yeah. And
I have quite the shopping list of things I'm going to steal.
Oh yeah, I've got on my notes app, I've got several pages of stuff. Okay, I'm gonna steal that. I'm gonna steal that. I'm gonna steal that.
Sure. Oh yeah. So to that point, I've done a kind of a crappy job of really explaining. The tour's not going to go away. It's not like a one-day event or anything. We're gonna the builders were asked to leave their bases until the end of the tour, which is basically the end of this month. Now they may reclaim them for parts. I don't know that they will. We'll leave the website up.
Mm-hmm.
And then in 2024, we're going to do it again. and we'll archive 2023. So we'll have all the pictures and the videos and the itinerary. That'll always be on the website. But in 2024, we're going to do the exact same thing in the exact same time frame. So if you want to be on the tour, or if you're a builder in the current tour, and I'm not going to name names because it was literally everybody. You have an enormous amount of time this time around. It's not like we're hitting you at the last second. You've got 10 months before the beginning of the year.
Yeah, that's definitely, yeah. You've got time.
So you know the drill. Go find a system, build your stuff. Don't share the address, and then we're good to go. What I'm going to do this next time around is basically we're going to have we want all the system builds done before the beginning of January. And then I'll take between January and March, and we'll be able to scan all the systems and put all the things together for the website, so that we're not doing it in real time. Because that's kind of what's been happening is Zep and Slacks and I are in real time putting the tour together as we go, and it's just an enormous amount of work. But the first time through, it's going to be
kind of
rough.
to be expected. Yeah. So
and
it'll get
it's brand
smoother.
new, so there was a lot of learning curve that we had to master. This next time around, we have the benefit of everybody knows what we're up to and what we're doing, and we're gonna we now have more time to get you there. And as on that note, it's like we're not turning people away from tours. The only thing we ask is, you know, if you want to participate, just be on the Discord and show up. That's it.
Yeah.
Because it's you know, we're putting in the effort for you guys. Just you know, help us out.
Absolutely, yeah, definitely. So, if anybody wants to check out the Discord, the link drops occasionally. Yeah, it's on the website too.
Yeah, it's on the website.
Yeah,
it's on the it's
come
in
join
the footer and the header on every page. So just go to the website. And I will point this out. We passed 1 million unique visitors 10 days ago.
Wow. Very cool.
To the website.
Yeah, that's so cool.
I'm not tracking hits. I'm tracking unique IPs. So,
wow, that's awesome.
And I can tell like I can tell how many times Slacks has been there because I'm watching the Canada.
Canada spikes.
But what's been impressive is we're getting them from all over the world. I mean, I've got a substantial number of hits from Peru, which that one stuck out to me. I'm like, that's
interesting.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's super cool.
Yeah, right on.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So
all over the world,
we're getting a lot of attention because it's sexy pictures of space bases, and space games are hot right now.
They are,
Yep.
So
we're getting seen. You guys are getting your bases seen. This stuff is being looked at, and
it is.
Like, I mean, these bases
getting eyes on
blown my mind.
Everybody's been coming out.
My mind.
Everybody's been bringing their A game. It's been awesome. I've been having so much fun touring these. So
yeah.
All right. Well,
I will throw this out last before you duck. I'm sorry.
Of course. No, you're good.
I have heard this same thing from every single builder. Every single one of them has said this to me at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Well, except for Enra, but you know, I think that he's kind of I say that because you're kind of already humble all the time anyway, so it's not a big deal. But every single builder on the tour at some point has reflected that they didn't know if they would be what the tour was looking for, or I'd say the sentiment is I don't know if I'm good enough for something like that. And you see the people that are on the tour and what they're building, and that's the kind of thing they're saying. So if you're looking at the tour and you're seeing all these bases and you're saying that to yourself, get over it. Come build something.
Yeah, because all the bases you're seeing, the awesome builders that put that together, they're saying the same thing to themselves when they're watching other people's builds.
Every one of us. Like,
everybody does.
I mean, I'm in the same segment with Crisscross. What the actual hell?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like, don't think the irony of that was lost on me. It basically just worked out that all the games are in stage 5 and mine are game bases. So yay for that. And this was when Chris was available, so it just worked out. I'm like, oh, just great.
Yeah, great. He gets the slot in there.
No pressure, not at all.
None at all. Nope.
It's not a competition. It's not a competition.
Yeah.
So yeah, just what I'm trying to get to is imposter syndrome is a thing. We've all got it. Don't let it stop you. No. Join the Discord. Come build, man. Just join. You'll be on a tour. I guarantee you will be on a tour. Yep. There is no. Mm-hmm. Just show up.
That's what I like about this is there's no gatekeepers, there's no you're not good enough. It's come build, have some fun, enjoy yourself doing it, and we'll come check out what you did. Cause bases that were built that you could tell the builder had fun doing it, those are the best to tour. They really are.
Yeah.
And so
Exactly. I mean, it's like I'm serious. The smallest things stick out to me. Somebody put records in a box.
yeah,
Nerosi put dishes in the sink. I mean, oh my god,
those
that's
little
just
tiny things. The toilet
so
paper
many.
in Voldrang's
The
bathroom.
toilet paper, yeah. I mean, so many things, man. And I have learned so much from so many people.
Yeah.
I can't even thank you guys enough for participating.
It's
This has
been
just a
awesome.
blast.
Yeah. So, all right, everybody, have a fantastic rest of your day. We've got Beeblebum live now doing some Space Engineers, so go check him out. Give him a silver raid, say hi, and have a fantastic rest of your day. I will see everybody tomorrow morning. We'll be really, really breaking our brain on some No Linder bases, and it'll be a fun morning. So, again, Tesseract, thanks for coming and joining, man. I appreciate you jumping in chat, and I appreciate all your hard work on this, man.
Well, thanks for doing all the streaming and for letting me talk about my builds because I
It's
feel
been
like
fun.
I've been in a black box for weeks. So
Well, I'm glad you got a chance to get out and yeah, take a little victory lap here, my friend. So,
sweet. Yeah.
But-
cool. Well, yeah, appreciate it.
everybody, have a great rest of your day, and we'll talk to you all later.
That put to sea, the name of the ship was the Billy O.T. The winds blew harder, bow dip down below me, bully boys blow. Soon may the weathermen come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. She'd not been